I just sat down and watched this really fun, great Terry Gilliam movie called Brothers Grimm from 2005. And of course, again directed by Terry Gilliam, from Brazil and like Python, all the classics that we know him for. And this is basically the Brothers Grimm dark twisted fairy tales, but with a terrific, I think, a really good cast, interesting story, and I really got into this really well. I mean, I'll say this: the brothers themselves. I mean, got Matt Damon as Will, and you have Jacob as the great like Heath Ledger, may rest in peace. They're both terrific in this film. They have this great brotherly dynamic, and that's really great as well. It's set during the time of French colonized Germany, and you got the petty French, and you got the evil French in this movie, which is a lot of fun, and it's really fun, and I really had a good time with it. There's a lot of scares in this movie too as well, but the CGI doesn't really hold up. I mean, this is like post Lord of the Rings, pre like Transformers, Avatar, so it has the CG does a little bit weird. Like there's some wolf sequence in this movie, and there's one weird looking flubber looking guy who looks like there's that character from Scooby-Doo 2 where like he's like the weird looking black clay looking like this, very similar to that, and that came out a year after this, so kind of similar to that, or like Flubber from like the 90s. And you've got some great female leads in this. You got the always Raylan Haiti, Black Mama from Dread as one of the heroes, and you have the evil queen of this film, who's pretty much her plan is basically to kidnap these 12 children. Also, Angelica as well in this film, and she wants to use them to be, the fairies of them all, and that's basically it's all the titular fairy tales, but dark. I mean, this is better than like that trend they did in the 2010s, where they were trying to turn like every fairy tale but dark and gritty, and like you had that 2010 Red Riding Hood. You had those two Huntsman movies that came out around that era. What's the other one? I'm trying to think. Grounds and Gorilla Witch Hunters into it. That was an era that didn't work. I mean, this movie did better than those ones, I would say. And there's a death sequence that because I randomly clipped from the recent Snow White film this year, the controversial film nobody asked for, and there's a scene where they kill the evil queen and they have to smash the mirror to kill her, and I was like, that looked better than the one of Snow White. I mean, that looked way better effects, and this was released 20 years ago, and that came out this year. I'm like, but I will say the CGI of a whole, it looks okay. There's some scenes like where they're flying, or that does look a bit green screeny. Some of the sets in this film do look really good, and I really like that. And that's the enjoyable part. But it has that typical Terry Gilliam stuff. It's very over the top, cartoony. Some of the characters are like, "What's going on?" Like, it's very theatrical. All the time, the characters are running and they're slipping around. It has that kind of that theatrical feel that we've seen like other Terry Gilliam movies. Like queer characters. You have the straight characters and like over the top villains. But it works for a story like this, and it works for a suitable filmmaker like this. That works. I would say this movie does scare me in a few bits too. I mean, if it came out today, maybe the CG would have been good. But I mean, now sometimes today's CG can be good, but sometimes it can be really bad. But I don't know. But I really had a good time with this too. If you're into like dark fairy tales like this, I recommend this. Like, if you want to watch those Grounds and Gretel or Red Riding Hood adaptations from the 2010s, if that's your cup of tea, that's fine. But I recommend this if you want to see a proper movie about Grimm fairy tales done differently. So I will say on that. So I really enjoyed this very much.